Hi, Chris from Divine Key, back to chat with you again about my views. I have started this series, and there's going to be a variety of ones. We recently talked about beliefs, and going one step further from that, I'm going to go and talk about something I've talked about before, which is awareness. So I'm going to switch the view um, to something other than me. A little bit cloudy out today, and I want to talk about awareness. So, this kind of segues right out of the beliefs I was talking about. So, um, just a little bit about what I spoke about last time or a previous time, depending on what order you watch the videos in. I was talking about beliefs and what do you believe and how do you know what to believe. And, the conclusion actually could be said that maybe you don't believe, right? So, having said that, one of the things that helps you find your way spiritually, and I often say I believe, I could say it's my opinion that it's important to become aware. So, for an example, when we talk about religion, spirituality and religion are going to be a common thread here because they're not interchangeable. And many, many people, when you say spiritual, they replace it with the word religion. And I want to be clear when I speak about religion, it is a separate thing than spirituality. Religion is a human construct that we put around spirituality. So there are many types of religion, and all religions are spiritual, and no religion can be spiritual. You can be spiritual without a religion. You can be spiritual without that human construct around it. So that's the point of view that I'm coming from. So when I talk about awareness, what I'm talking about is being able to receive information in ways other than our typical five senses. So, in religion, often there are rituals or things that people do. One of those things is called prayer. The word is used that we use as prayer. And when we pray, often it is when we need something, when we want something to happen, when we want help with something. Um, there are people who do regularly have prayers of gratitude and prayers of thanks. Um, but in any case, whatever prayer we're talking about, it is a human taking an action. So it's a human who is making the request or speaking or giving the thanks. And it's an action, it's a movement. We are doing something, we are filling the space. And when I talk about awareness, that would be the next step from prayer, which is to step into stillness of some sort so that you can receive the information that you're seeking, receive the information of a request, receive the answer, receive guidance, receive um, a sign or a symbol. That's awareness is very much integrated with my understanding of how signs and symbols work. And it could be, and signs and symbols include um, working with archangels or guides, spirit guides. I'm a Reiki master, so I could say a Reiki guide or source directly. In order to have that interaction, and in order to perceive that interaction from a human standpoint, we must become aware. We must allow spirit to connect to us in the way that spirit deems is most acceptable to us. So that could include that you're looking for guidance and you're like, show me a cardinal to show me that my mother, who's passed, is okay and well, and to put my mind at ease. And Spirit could send that message to you as an actual cardinal outside your window. Spirit could send you that message as a cardinal motif on a jersey or a shirt or something of that nature. Spirit could send you that message as a cardinal feather that you find as you're walking down the street or in your backyard. You might see this feather that's a cardinal feather. Spirit might send you the message of a cardinal in um, the guise of a song. Spirit might send you that message as a photograph on the internet of a ceramic figurine of a cardinal, or just someone speaking about cardinals, or you might hear a cardinal song. And that's what I mean by awareness. If you go into it saying, Spirit, show me a cardinal so that I know that my mother who's passed on is in a good space in the energy and with you, and your mindset is, I need to see a living, breathing cardinal bird sit on my windowsill outside my window and look me in the eye, that's very specific. Could Spirit send you that? Yes. Spirit could send you the message that way. But it's my point of view that that message can come in all the ways that I mentioned previously. So when I speak about awareness, it's again a curious optimism about what information's coming in. There's many, many texts out there and teachers who teach in the spiritual realm that you must understand and know and feel your desires, whether they be for something material or answers, down to the last detail. Imagine yourself in that place. What does it smell like and feel like, and what are you thinking, and how does your body feel, and what's the finest detail? Where are you? What's the environment look like? Can you describe it? And popular things like The Secret will describe that the law of attraction works that way, right? You got to get it down to the finest detail. And many of us do that. Like we think about it and we write it and we concentrate it and we pour energy into the finest details, and we keep waiting. We keep waiting for the thing to show up for us. And the thing could be sitting right in front of us and we're not seeing it because it's not showing up in that level of detail, because what's best for us may not look exactly like what we described or feel or want or put out there. So if you want what's best in your life, if you want the best life possible, if you want to move into the energy of attraction, it's really the energy of awareness. Being aware that those things are coming toward you. And one of the examples I'd like to use is of awareness when we're talking about awareness and attraction is like when you buy a new car, or if you acquire a new car, you never noticed that there was a VW bug in your town. And then you buy a classic VW bug. I know, random car, but anyway, you buy this VW bug, and it's a classic one from the 1960s or 70s, and suddenly you're noticing VW bugs all around you. Now, if you were to take it to the level of detail and be like, well, I'm only going to be aware, it's not that you're only aware of the ones that look just like your car, right? You notice the cars if they're different colors. You notice the same style model car if it's a different year, like you would notice the newer VW bugs as well as the older ones. So that's what it looks like. It's not like you only notice a VW bug that is blue and or looks like Herbie the Love Bug, with a racing stripe, a red racing stripe down the side. You're not just going to notice the 1970 version. You're not just going to notice the white ones. You're not just going to notice the blue ones. You're going to notice all of them. Like they just become more, you become more aware of them when they're close to you. Same thing happens with law of attraction. Law of attraction is a huge thing, and it starts with awareness. So I'll probably put law of attraction as the header um, thumbnail on this video because law of attraction really starts with not building that detail, not pouring your energy into this uh, vaporous thing, but to open yourself and become aware of when you're in the vicinity of the thing you're trying to attract. So we could dive deeper on this. And I'm just getting used to talking to myself. I'm used to having these conversations with people and getting feedback and then having a give and take response. So forgive me if it sounds like I'm rambling. I'm figuring out how to have this conversation with you virtually when you're not here and responding to me. So I would invite you, and I'm going to invite you in every one of these videos to join me in becoming more aware when you are implementing, and if you want to try the law of attraction, take a small thing. Take a very small thing you want evidence of that you could get in your daily life, that you would be likely to see um, in a short time frame, and make the request and then be open and be aware and take note of the trail that spirit leads you with. So, they're like breadcrumbs or they're like stepping stones. Sometimes we don't know each of the stepping stones to get to the big thing that we want, but we can recognize and become aware that the next step is in a particular direction. And if you take that step, then the next step appears for you, or the next breadcrumb appears for you to follow spirit toward your best result of what you're asking for. And it's important. It's important not to get hung up on the end result. It's important to allow it to be flexible enough and flowing enough that spirit can bring you to where you're meant to be. So that's my view for today. Um, Happy to share it with you. There are many, many topics I'm going to be covering. Some of them relate to each other, some of them don't. Most of them relate to spirituality and navigating this 3D world that we live in from a different perspective. Some may call 5D, some may call a higher perspective. In any case, I hope that was helpful. If it is, please like and subscribe, comment on the video. Let's have an open discussion on these videos. I would love to hear feedback that I could answer and maybe even talking points for future videos. Um, but that's what I'm going to leave you with today. Um, I hope that life finds you well, and I hope to see you next time on the My View series from Divine Key. This is Chris signing off. Be well.